Hey everybody, how you doing? It is Friday night and we got everything finished we needed to do. Dinner's done, everything's taken care of, and I'm getting some shop time. So I'm heading out here and oh yeah, got a couple boxes we got to go through. We'll bring those into a little mail call. One of them I know exactly what's in there. Well, I know exactly what one of the things in there is, and I'm excited about that because that's what I think I'm going to work on tonight. So let me get some lights on in this shop and we'll do a quick mail call and we'll get busy. I'm going to open the big one first because I know what one of the things in here is. We talked the other night about a buddy of mine, Bill Kibbe, making a disc for me to turn a pulley for my metal lathe out of, and it was made from Alumares R3, I think is the material, and it's the stuff that they use for making the hand and footholds on rock climbing walls. But he also said, a little surprise for you, I threw a couple other things in the box, so I don't know what's in here. I have cut the tape. Let's take a quick peek. Check this out. This is the Alumares disc that he made me to turn into a pulley. I'm going to guess that's a little over 2 inches, probably close to 3 inches thick. Take a look at that. Some of you guys might be able to guess what he used for a mold. I'll let you think about that for a second, and I'll tell you here at the end. He also sent me a couple of ounces of the Alumares 3. Basically, one is the resin and one is the catalyst. This is a knob, and I have to assume that this is probably made from that Alumares 3. I'm not sure what I'll use this for, but it's solid, so you can always drill it out, epoxy a nut in there, and make a, put a threaded nut on it or whatever, so that'll come in handy. Take a look at some of this wood. This is super light. I mean, it's going to really need to be stabilized, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And then check out this. That is amazing. Bill, thank you so much. This is awesome, and I can't wait to get to work on this baby tonight. You guys figure out what this is from? Those of you guys who were big on burning CDs and DVDs, this is that plastic cap to a CD case. You get the spindle of, say, 50 or 100 discs. He used the cap to that and poured this the other night while we were on the phone, and then he dropped it in the mail to me. This next box is from Kyle Barnick. Now, Kyle is a newer turner, and we made a trade a while back, and I told him from my end of the trade, what I wanted was for him to turn a pin and send it to me so that I could donate it to Pins for Troops at the Mid-Ohio Valley Pin Turners Gathering. And that's what's in this box. Kyle made a pin, and he sent it to me. And I'm going to donate this at the pin gathering in Kyle's name. Whoa. And this is the pin that Kyle turned. It looks like it might be Cocobolo with a nice black kit. Really did a nice job on the pin, Kyle. Thank you so much. This will be donated in your name in September to Pins for Troops. I just cut the end off this bag. I'm not sure who it's from yet, but it came out of North Carolina. So let me open it up and see what's in here. Take a look at these gorgeous blanks. Aren't they incredible? Just look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, there was no name on the package, and there was not a note in there, and I have to apologize because I don't, off the top of my head, remember what this wood is or who sent it to me. I'm going to have to go back through my messages because I'm sure that this particular person contacted me, told me they wanted to send these to me, and asked for my mailing address. So I'm going to have to look that up, and I apologize that I can't remember. My memory is not as good as it used to be, but we will look that up and get that information, and I'll get these labeled with your name so that when I turn them, I can throw a shout out your way. Thank you so much for taking the time to send those to me. They're beautiful. Next up, and I bought this for myself, I have a ton of 7mm brad bits, but I don't have a standard 7mm drill bit. And I bought this because my son, a while back, gave me some spent 30-06 casings. And I'm going to attempt to make a pin from these casings, and I needed this 7mm bit to be able to drill the casings out to glue the tubes into them. So this is something, I've got a whole box of them. I'm going to kind of experiment with these, and when I figure it out, I'll do a video for you guys if you're interested. Well guys, I was all ready to start working on that bushing, and I came over to my lathe, and lo and behold, I found a partially finished project. You might remember my last video when I was working on this little blank. It is finished getting the CA put on it, and it needs to be micro-meshed, buffed, and pressed into a pin kit. I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and when that's done, I'll show you the pin, and then we'll get started on the pulley. This turned out to be a really nice looking pin. I mean, I'm happy with that. That's kind of cool. Let me show you where I'm at. I've gone ahead and turned some threads on a 1/2 inch aluminum rod. My thought is we will face off one side of the blank and then we'll butt it up against the chuck. I may have to extend this mandrel out from the chuck a little bit. And then I made this nut, and we will use a washer with this nut. Whoops, there we go. And we'll tighten it down on there to hold the blank in place. Now, will this work? I don't know. It may not, because this is a resin nut, but I don't have a block of aluminum, so we're going to test this with this nut, and if it starts slipping and doesn't work, I'll have to pick up a block of aluminum somewhere, and we'll cut ourselves another nut from aluminum where we should be able to get a much tighter fit. Well, guys, I really wish I had a small chunk of scrap aluminum that I could go ahead and make a nut out of. I don't, so I improvised with what I had. I am skeptical that it will hold because it's made of resin, and if there's any type of a catch at all, it's probably going to slip. All we can do is try. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, no harm done. I got a couple of other ideas, potentially. We'll see how they work out. If not, I'll try to get on eBay and buy some scrap aluminum chunks. Surely somebody sells something like that, and I'll be able to make a real aluminum nut to put on the end of that mandrel. That's it for me tonight. It's getting kind of late. I'm going to call it quits. I made a lot of progress tonight. I'm going to put some more thought into this to make sure it is the way I want to go before I start turning, because I don't want to mess this blank up. You guys will see every step of the process. I can promise you that. Take care. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again real soon.